Cucumbit poisoning. It'll kill you. Is your dinner safe to eat tonight? Let's find out. Welcome to How to Garden. Today, I want to talk about zucchini and its relatives. See, most of the United States and, well, the Northern Hemisphere is ramping up on their gardening efforts. Zucchini, summer squash, and any squashes in general tend to be a favorite. However, there is one big problem with these, and a lot of people don't know. They just don't realize it could be a problem until it is. So we're going to have a little discussion about cucumbit poisoning. Cucumbit poisoning comes in anything in this family. That's squash, zucchini, cucumbers, watermelon, loofah. You can eat the very young loofahs, but once they get bigger, it's too fibrous. But what cucumber poisoning is there is a toxin that occurs in that entire species. Now, it's not terribly common because we tend to pick them small, pick them young. But as time goes by, people want bigger and bigger produce. One zucchini, feed the whole family. While you're slicing up that giant zucchini you're really proud of, you need to taste a piece. And if it tastes really bitter, it dries your mouth out, you don't want to eat that one. Now, the symptoms of eating that are pretty severe for a lot of people. Some people, not as much, but if it happens to you more than once, every time it happens, it gets a little worse. A certain number of people do die per year due to cucumbit poisoning, but it's still fairly rare. Most people that get it just think that they got food poisoning, and technically speaking, they did get food poisoning because they poisoned themselves with a zucchini or a summer squash, and occasionally a cucumber. What's going to happen is you're going to have your stomach start hurting real bad, and you might get diarrhea. You're probably going to start vomiting. Almost everybody that gets it starts to vomit. It happens real severe, real sudden. Shortly after you ate, your stomach hurts. You don't feel good. Well, it's like having a really bad stomach bug. Most people have had a stomach bug at some point in their life. So imagine you fried up a nice zucchini like this, and it was bitter. But you ate it anyway because you don't want it to go to waste. So I understand how that is. You don't want to waste anything that you grew, especially if it's really, really nice, like a big zucchini like this one, or bigger. Then you find yourself really sick. You don't know why. It happens with whatever you're growing, or if you're buying it even at the grocery store. After all, when I harvest one of these, I don't know if it's bitter. I'm not tasting it. I'm going to package it up, and I'm going to ship it off. It's up to the person that actually is cooking it to take time to take one little piece and make sure that it's not bitter. But even if you're not the person cooking it, and you sit down to a plate and you got a nice big plate of zucchini or squash or whatever that's in the family that you're eating, and that one's really bitter, and it'll make your mouth really, really, really dry. Don't eat it. Spit it out. Rinse your mouth off or out. Don't eat that one. Now, unfortunately, what ends up happening a lot of times, you'll have one bad one, and no, this one is not bad, and 20 that are good, and you slice them all up and you cook them, and one person in that group just happens to get more or less of the one that had the cucumbit poisoning in it, and Oh, your buddy Bob got sick. Everybody else was fine. So while you're doing it, take the time to taste each one and make sure that you're not going to give somebody poisoning. Because it really, really sucks when it's you. And do you really want to do that to somebody you know? You have a good day. Just a thought. Happy gardening.